I believe in an America where the separation of church and state is absolute, where no Catholic prelate would tell the president, should he be Catholic, how to act, and no Protestant minister would tell his parishioners for whom to vote, where no church or church school is granted any public funds or political preference, and where no man is denied public office merely because his religion differs from the president who might appoint him or the people who might elect him. I believe in an America that is officially neither Catholic, Protestant, nor Jewish, where no public official either requests or accepts instructions on public policy from the Pope, the National Council of Churches, or any other ecclesiastical source, where no religious body seeks to impose its will, directly or indirectly, upon the general populace or the public acts of its officials, and where religious liberty is so indivisible that an act against one church is treated as an act against all.
America's populations, the dangers of sectarianism are greater than ever. Whatever we once were, we are no longer a Christian nation, at least not just. We are also a Jewish nation, a Muslim nation, and a Buddhist nation, and a Hindu nation, and a nation of non-believers. And even if we did have only Christians in our midst, if we expelled every non-Christian from the United States of America, whose Christianity would we teach in the schools? Would it be James Dobson's or Al Sharpton's? Which passages of Scripture should guide our public policy? Should we go with Leviticus, which suggests slavery is okay, and that eating shellfish is an abomination? Or we could go with Deuteronomy, which suggests stoning your child if he strays from the faith? Or should we just stick to the Sermon on the Mount, a passage that is so radical that it's doubtful that our own Defense Department would survive its application? So before we get carried away, let's read our Bibles now. Folks haven't been reading their Bibles.
Demigod would not be unfamiliar to our founding fathers. They knew well the long, cruel history of church-dominated government when they wrote our Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. Burned in the minds of the founding fathers was an understanding of how fragile a democracy can be to forces within determined to impose a single belief on a nation of many beliefs. The clergy, said Jefferson, by getting themselves engrafted in the machinery of government, have been a formidable engine against civil and religious rights of man. Religion and government, said James Madison, will both exist in greater purity the less they are mixed together. Religion is a private affair between every man and his maker, said Thomas Paine. The object of just laws is the protection of equal rights of all, however various their beliefs may be. All religions united with government, said Henry Clay, are more or less inimical to liberty. All separated from government are compatible with liberty. The government of the United States, insisted Washington, is not in any sense founded on the Christian religion or any other religion. Said Jefferson, I have sworn upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man. I contemplate with sovereign reverence that act of the whole American people, the building of a wall of separation between church and state. Washington and Jefferson understood the dangers of mixing church and state. I'm Martin Sheen, a member of People for the American Way.
Wrote about the First Amendment, building a wall of separation between church and state. Why do you think that's so important?
His intention in expressing that was so that government did not mandate a religion on the people. And Thomas Jefferson also said, never underestimate the wisdom of the people. And the wisdom of the people, I think, in this issue is that people have the right and the ability and the desire to express their own religious views, be it on a very personal level, which is where I choose to express my faith, or in a more public forum, and the wisdom of the people, thankfully ingrained in the foundation of our country, is so extremely important, and Thomas Jefferson wanted to protect that.
The best way to look at it is look at every state where that wall is not built. Look at every country in the world where religion is able to impact on the governance. Almost every one of those countries, there's real turmoil. Look, the founders were pretty smart. They had gone through, several hundred years of wars, religious wars. They were in the midst of religious wars in Europe, and they figured it out. The best way to do this is keep the government out of religion. They took religion out of government, but they didn't mean religion couldn't be in the public place, in the public square.